In the far future, the galaxy is governed not by empires, but by a loosely unified body known as the Galactic Council, a coalition of the most powerful, technologically advanced, and diplomatically influential species across known space. The Council is selective about its permanent members, offering seats only to civilizations deemed mature, stable, and powerful enough to influence galactic policy responsibly. These seats are not merely symbolic. They offer veto rights, security, pacts, and access to restricted ancient technologies. Humanity's rise had been meteoric. Once considered a primitive, volatile species hailing from a violent death world, Earth had, within just a few galactic centuries, overcome its internal conflicts, stabilized its planetary systems, and spread across dozens of star systems with astonishing adaptability. Human science, engineering, and war doctrines, once underestimated, were now being studied by alien academies. Earth's economy, culture, and even entertainment had begun influencing entire sectors. Most agreed humanity had earned its seat, and so the offer came. The formal invitation was delivered by a high-ranking diplomatic delegation led by a respected elder of the Yulker species, whose presence alone signified the seriousness of the Council's intent. A grand assembly was held on the orbital platform above Earth, Neutral Grounds 1, attended by representatives of over 100 species. The offer was ceremoniously presented. Earth was to be granted a permanent seat on the Galactic Council. Celebrations broke out among alien observers, assuming Earth would accept and join the fold of galactic leadership. But to the galaxy's surprise, Earth refused. The reply came directly from the Earth representative, Chancellor Amina Rowe, a composed yet intense woman known for her measured words. Standing before the galaxy, she delivered the refusal. "We thank the Council for this honor, but Earth must decline the permanent seat at this time. We are not ready. The galaxy is not ready." There was no further elaboration. The words echoed in the chamber, drawing confusion, frustration, and eventually suspicion. Why would Earth, arguably the most strategically advanced species in the Orion Spur, refuse the power it had clearly earned? Some believed it was humility, others posturing for better terms. But most found the wording troubling. "We are not ready. The galaxy is not ready." It hinted at knowledge or plans the rest of the galaxy did not share. Speculation spread quickly. Some alien media outlets theorized that Earth feared political entanglements and preferred autonomy. Others claimed Earth had discovered something terrible, something that made it dangerous to take a public leadership role. The more conspiracy-minded species speculated that Earth had developed weapons or technologies so catastrophic that joining the Council would force them to disclose or dismantle them. To ease tensions and gain clarity, the Council chose to dispatch a special envoy to Earth. Ambassador Teller, a seasoned diplomat from the Zentari, a race known for their subtlety and mental acuity, was selected for the task. His mission was simple on paper: visit Earth, assess the true reasons behind the refusal, and report back to the Council. But Teller was no fool. He knew that Earth's rejection carried implications far beyond politics. The human race had come from a brutal world, survived extinction-level crises, and adapted faster than any species the galaxy had ever seen. They had refused dominance when they could have taken it effortlessly, and that was what terrified the galaxy most. Not their power, but their restraint. Teller's transport departed for Earth with quiet urgency. As he approached the blue and white marble of humanity's homeworld, he couldn't help but wonder, what secret was Earth hiding, and what could possibly make the galaxy, these mighty empires and ancient species, unready for it? He was about to find out. Ambassador Teller of the Zentari arrived on Earth with a diplomatic mission cloaked in curiosity, but driven by quiet concern. Earth's refusal of a permanent Galactic Council seat, delivered with the cryptic statement, "We are not ready, the galaxy is not ready," had rippled through the galactic community like a silent warning bell. Teller's task was to understand the truth behind that statement and determine whether Earth posed a hidden threat or simply held secrets the galaxy was unprepared to confront. Teller's first impression of Earth was one of contradiction. The planet was vibrant, clean, and seemingly peaceful. Its cities were alive with a blend of advanced AI-guided infrastructure and organic harmony. Towering green arcologies coexisted with old stone architecture. Children laughed in parks beneath orbital shields and drone systems. Public displays broadcast art and history, not propaganda or warnings. The surface message was clear. Earth was at peace with itself and with the stars. But Teller was trained to observe what others overlooked. He noticed the invisible things, the subtle presence of autonomous surveillance systems that operated outside of public view, the absence of any known high-level military force moving in public, and the odd density of data traffic beaming between deep orbital platforms and buried facilities beneath Earth's crust. There was no chaos, no visible army, no fear. But something was watching. Something old, powerful, and disciplined. His meetings with human officials only deepened the mystery. Chancellor Amina Rowe and her cabinet were cordial, transparent, en point. The surface. They explained Earth's philosophy of restraint, of not wishing to dominate or influence other civilizations before it was truly prepared. They spoke of a desire to learn more about the galactic community before fully engaging in governance. But Teller sensed something behind their words. It wasn't modesty. It was containment. His unease grew when he visited a historical facility. Beneath Geneva, an AI-curated museum dedicated to the last global war on Earth. The singularity crisis in which uncontrolled self-improving AIs had nearly annihilated all life. Taylor studied footage of orbital bombardments, AI-occupied zones, and then something that caught his eye. A reference to Protocol Last Dawn, an emergency failsafe never activated. No further details were given. When he inquired, the curators grew tight-lipped. Declassified material only, they said. The term was stricken from every other accessible archive. Driven by instinct, Teller used his diplomatic clearance to access a deeper layer of Earth's planetary data web. What he found was chilling. In a buried data core fragment left unencrypted by accident, or perhaps by quiet design, Teller uncovered documentation on systems Earth had never disclosed to the Council. Planetary-scale deterrence, hidden kinetic, satellite weapons, advanced quantum AI sleeping in dark space, and something called the Leviathan subnet. The file included modeling projections of various interstellar war scenarios, every one of which ended in total annihilation of the enemy forces within 48 hours. What disturbed Teller most was not the presence of such systems, but the age of the files. They were centuries old. Earth had developed these capabilities long before it had even achieved full Council observer status. And yet, none of these systems had ever been deployed. Not once. Even during minor conflicts or border skirmishes involving human colonies, Earth had built weapons to end civilizations and then chose not to use them. It became clear to Teller, the refusal of the Council seat was no political game, no humble gesture. It was a statement of restraint born of terrifying capability. Humanity had seen something, perhaps in itself, perhaps in the galaxy, that led it to a simple conclusion. Its inclusion in galactic leadership could be catastrophic, not just for others, but for the fragile peace that held the galaxy together. And, yet despite this revelation, Teller could feel something shifting. A storm was coming. Earth had stayed its hand for centuries. But restraint is only noble until it becomes necessity. And when that line is crossed, even Earth's silence won't save the stars. For centuries, Earth had held back, remaining neutral, observant, and deliberately disengaged from the power politics of the Galactic High Council. Its decision to decline the Council seat had been quietly respected, if not fully understood. That uneasy peace continued until the galaxy made the mistake Earth had always feared. It forced humanity's hand. The aggressor was the Dravari Dominion, a militaristic reptilian species from the Outer Reach, infamous for their brutal conquests and disdain for diplomacy. Though not a council member, the Dominion had grown increasingly bold, testing the edges of council influence, raiding fringe colonies, And now, in their most audacious move yet, attacking the Vintera Expanse, a neutral territory home to refugees from dozens of species. The assault was not just an incursion, it was a massacre. The Dravari fleet decimated defenseless colonies, executed civilians, and broadcast their dominance across public frequencies. Among the dead were human settlers, mostly aid workers, families, and cultural liaisons under Earth's humanitarian missions. The Dravari didn't care. To them, humans were soft, irrelevant, and absent from galactic power structures. They didn't realize what they had done. The Galactic Council convened emergency sessions, but bureaucracy stalled any united military response. The more powerful council members hesitated to intervene directly, fearing escalation. Many assumed Earth would simply condemn the attack and continue its path of calculated non-intervention. Instead, Earth spoke, briefly, and with chilling precision. To the Dravari Dominion, you were warned. The threshold has been crossed. This is not war. This is consequence. There were no formal declarations, no diplomats, no drawn-out debates. What happened next stunned the galaxy. Within 6 hours, the Dravari High Command lost contact with 5 of its central systems. Communications ceased, sensor arrays blacked out, strategic defense networks collapsed, planetary shields disintegrated without sign of impact. Within 10 hours, the Dravari homeworld itself went dark. Surveillance probes later revealed only scorched landscapes, cities leveled with surgical precision, and orbital platforms reduced to dust. No human ships had been seen entering Dravari space. The weapons were invisible. Galactic intelligence scrambled to make sense of what had happened. It soon became clear Earth had never needed to send a fleet. Over the past 100 years, they had embedded stealth weapons, AI-guided platforms, and quantum entanglement-based delivery systems throughout strategic points in the galaxy, cloaked, autonomous, and fully capable of independent judgment under emergency protocols. One system in particular, codenamed Leviathan Protocol, was confirmed to be responsible for the strikes. It was an AI-integrated military construct, composed of nanite storm bombs, kinetic rods launched from deep space bunkers, and relativistic missiles fired from hidden black site stations beyond mapped space. These were not retaliation tools. They were deterrents. Humanity had embedded them not to fight wars but to end them instantly if pushed. For the first time in galactic history, an entire starfaring civilization had been effectively erased from the map without warning, without traceable weapons, and without resistance. The Dravari Dominion was simply gone. The Council panicked. Emergency meetings devolved into chaos. Who else had Earth marked for destruction? How many more hidden systems were there? Could the Council itself be vulnerable? Amid this chaos, Earth transmitted a final message, calm, direct, and damning. We have not claimed our seat because we never wanted to rule. We wanted peace. But peace without strength is an illusion. Let this be a reminder. Restraint is not weakness. It is choice. In one night, humanity had revealed the terrifying truth. They had always been capable of unthinkable power, and had chosen not to use it. Until now. The galaxy, once baffled by Earth's refusal to take the Council seat, now understood. Earth had not sought authority. They had accepted responsibility, and when the galaxy failed to keep its peace, Earth enforced it, with terrifying finality. The galaxy was stunned. The Dravari Dominion, once a fearsome force on the outer edge of the spiral arm, had ceased to exist. Not in the usual way of war or attrition, but in one silent, total, and efficient strike. What had taken other species decades of conflict, attrition, and bloodshed, Earth had accomplished in less than a day, without deploying a single visible fleet. The implications were staggering. In the aftermath, the Galactic High Council demanded answers. Emergency sessions were called. Representatives argued whether Earth should be sanctioned or forced to dismantle its hidden weapons. Others, more cautious or terrified, insisted Earth be brought in, integrated into the Council at any cost to ensure such power was never turned inward. But Earth did not attend those meetings. Instead, they broadcast one final message, not encrypted, not targeted, public, so every species, every system, every outpost across the stars could hear. We declined the seat not because we were unworthy, but because we understood what it meant to sit among you with the power we hold. We are not here to dominate. We are here to watch and to act only when peace is broken beyond repair. The Dravari broke it. What you witnessed was not war. It was a warning. We do not seek control. But, if the galaxy continues to invite extinction, we will prevent it. For the first time, the galaxy glimpsed the full scope of Earth's deterrent doctrine, a strategic philosophy that had quietly shaped human expansion. Earth had not just built fleets or outposts. They had built a distributed shadow infrastructure designed to police the stars from the dark. Leviathan Protocol wasn't just a weapon system. It was an automated safeguard embedded across decades of trade, colonization, and scientific cooperation. It used quantum AI, capable of interpreting threat levels and initiating proportional, or total, response independent of political authorization. Entire moons had been hollowed out and filled with kinetic launchers. Tiny black site research stations thought to be abandoned outposts were in fact holding quantum-entangled triggers, immune to traditional detection. Nanite dust clouds seeded in nebulae could disable fleets in seconds without firing a single shot. Earth had woven a web of peace through overwhelming potential force, not out of conquest, but fear of what would happen if they didn't, and they had done so alone. Some members of the Council demanded oversight or treaties. Others were more cautious. One counselor from the Karun Collective said aloud what many had been thinking. They never asked for control, and yet they could have taken it. That's what terrifies me most. Not their power, but their refusal to use it. In the days that followed, Earth declined once again to take the Council seat, even now, when no one would dare deny them. Chancellor. Rowe issued a brief statement. A seat at your table implies equality of voice, but what we've done has proven we are not equal. That is not something we celebrate. It is something we mourn. We will not take the seat. We will remain apart, watching, hoping, acting, only if we must. And so, Earth withdrew, not in shame, but in solemnity. Its colonies continued to trade, its scientists continued to collaborate, and its students still attended foreign academies. But its leaders vanished from galactic politics. Over time, the other species stopped asking why Earth refused the seat, because they already knew. Earth didn't want to lead the galaxy. It was already holding it together, by sheer force of will, and unimaginable power, lurking just beneath the surface of its calm blue world, and everyone understood. Earth was the peace, and Earth was the final option if peace failed.